there are times where like, I'm like working my way through like feeling better. And then it's like, well, why? And I quickly go back to that question or that mantra of like, if I can't change what is, then I might as well accept it. Otherwise, I'm going to suffer.
Hello, Adam. As always, great to be here with you. And this week, I want to share a little bit of a story. I'm not going to share all the details because it was really embarrassing. My poor son came home yesterday and a boy in his class did something very embarrassing to him in front of the entire class.
Oh.
And yeah, as you can imagine, it's like heartbreaking, right? Like, my poor boy. Anyway, what ended up happening throughout the rest of the afternoon, the evening, even this morning, he kept coming up to me and, Mom, I just keep playing it over and over in my head. I can't let it go. I can't stop thinking about it. I still feel embarrassed. I still feel the feelings. Oh my gosh. All I wanted to do, Adam, was just take it all from him.
Yeah.
And maybe give that kid a good talking to as well.
To say the least.
Yeah. I mean, but it kind of put me in mind of like, right, like here we are, this poor kid, like holding on to these really icky feelings. How can I help him through this? And so something I've done with him, and in turn, I also apply this to myself, and I've asked clients the same thing. I'll say to him, okay, you know what? First of all, fine. Those feelings are valid. Have them. And when you are ready to feel better, let's talk. What do you think about that approach?
I like that. First off, I'm really sorry. I mean, as a parent, it's the worst thing. I would rather it happen to me a billion times over than for something to happen like that,
Yeah.
to one of my kids. It's so hard.
Yeah.
But I like that because I do think, at least after something like that happens, I think we're all wired to, and we want to, and are entitled to have a little bit of a pity party. To feel our feelings.
Yeah.
And to just kind of work through it. But the key question is, how long are you going to allow yourself to have a pity party?
Right. And I mean, who's to say? Like, I'm pretty sure that's not in a rule book anywhere. And like, but I do think that question of like, are you ready to feel better? To me, that asks a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing that comes to mind is when I hear that, am I ready to feel better? Well, do I want to keep feeling like this?
Right.
No.
Right.
I don't want to feel like this, right? Like, which is kind of, I think conceptually I have a hard time wrapping my head around this because, in a weird way, the pity party can kind of lead to feel some fun feeling.
Yeah.
Oh, not fun feelings, but you know what I'm saying.
Right. I mean, I think ultimately when you break it down, are you ready to feel better is a wonderful question. I love that. And the reason why you're not feeling better at that moment, or you don't want to feel better, is you're so fixated and so stuck on what happened. You're stuck on reality, right? You're ultimately fighting reality.
Yeah.
And that is the hard part, because when you fight reality, you are going to suffer 100 times out of 100. And something I often say to myself, I share with others, and it's been very helpful for them, is just ask yourself, like, or kind of just, it's almost a mantra. It's a mantra. It's like, if I can't change what is, then I might as well accept what is, otherwise I'm going to suffer. If I can't change what is, I might as well accept what is, otherwise I'm going to suffer. And what is, in this context, is reality. In this case, what happened to your son. It could be what someone said to you. It could be what someone didn't do. They didn't invite you. Traffic, your boss. Like, there's a million things of what is, of what happened. And of course, it's all about how we respond to it.
Right. Yeah, it puts me in mind of that quote that's kind of going around the internet. Sometimes life hands you a cactus. You don't also have to sit on it.
Exactly. I love that. That's great.
Yeah, and I mean, I think humans are really good at sitting on cactuses that they're handed.
Yep.
And this also brings to mind another really powerful reframe, and something that admittedly I've experienced recently myself was this idea that I can't let go of something.
Mm.
I didn't realize I was saying that to myself, like I can't let go of this. And in a conversation I was having with somebody else, they admitted they also couldn't let go of something. And I thought to myself and then said to them, I'm like, oh no, you know what? We actually won't let go of it. And I'm telling you, Adam, it was like
A light bulb.
dropping like a magic drop into something. Like
Yeah.
everything kind of started to release at that point when I realized this was me. This was me choosing to sit on the cactus, essentially. Like I am choosing to hold on to it. There's nothing in me that says you can't let it go. But everything in my being at that moment was saying, I won't let that go. I'm not ready to let that go.
Yep.
And that admission that like we're doing it, it becomes a permission. It becomes a permission to be like, well, maybe I'll open myself up to doing something a little different and seeing if I could maybe feel better.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think being in a state of powerlessness at times can be very comforting, and it keeps us where we are. It keeps us feeling the way we do. But it always feels better when we move to a state of powerlessness, powerfulness, taking our power back and saying, what can I do? Right? I mean, life, there's two arrows. The first arrow, is what happens to us. The second arrow is how we respond. And that second arrow is where all the magic, all the joy, all the beauty can happen. And there's a lot of heartbreak and sadness and all sorts of things. I mean, life is, all sorts of things, right? Life throws punches at us all the time.
Right.
But I try to focus on that second arrow and how I respond to things. And I think, this is a great start to make the best of it.
Yeah, I think, another way to kind of think about this, right? Even a two arrow approach or a can't versus a won't. One is a very closed off approach to life and an approach to who you are. I think can't attaches us to an identity, right? If I can't let go of this, this is who I become.
Yep.
And you become closed.
Yep.
Well, you're limited. Versus, all right, let me ride the second arrow into, maybe some uncertainty. But if I choose to say, I won't, well, first of all, that's a powerful stance.
Yep.
So I'm identifying as powerful. And then that opens me up to possibility. That becomes a very open stance to whatever life may be bringing to you. So I don't know. I think it's important to kind of offer a lot of perspectives on this, because I think where feelings are involved, people, myself included, it's sensitive. It's a sensitive topic, right? Like, don't take my feelings from me. I would never dream of doing that, right? Like, feelings are valid.
Yep.
Feelings are valid.
Absolutely.
So I like all of these, like, kind of analogies that we're coming up with. I think it's really helpful.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's different ways to think about things and different perspectives. And I think that's ultimately, if we can help someone think about this in a different way and it helps them move to a place where they feel better, then that's the idea.
Yeah. So maybe let's break it down real quick. Let's talk a little bit of like, okay, well, now you've given us a lot of good ideas. Can you bring some order to this mess, please? So I would just say, in my mind, it kind of goes like this, step by step. A thing happens. It might be a big thing. It might be a small thing. It's not for us to judge, but it definitely is causing some resistance to what is. We're fighting reality. And because of that, we're having some pretty strong feelings. Oftentimes, those feelings keep us stuck, right? We get stuck on them. We're choosing to keep feeling them. So we might say to ourselves, okay, well, when I'm ready to feel better, let me take a step back here and consider what can be done next. I think that's a first great question. Am I ready to feel better? So that would be step number one. I'm having feelings. They feel yucky. Am I ready to feel better? And be honest with yourself. Because like you said, Adam, like maybe you need the pity party. Maybe it needs to go on longer than it has.
Right. Right. No doubt.
Okay. So am I ready to feel better? Okay. Maybe we're feeling like, yeah, I think so. I can see how I'm maybe open to shifting gears here. Something I will do. I kind of, and this, in all seriousness, Adam, I do practice this. If I'm having big, heavy feelings that need my attention, I actually kind of give myself like a time. I'm going to say a time limit, but I don't really mean a limit. Like I give myself time. Mm-hmm. But I might say like, okay, at this point in time, I'm going to get up and move myself. And I think it's really helpful. I did this recently. My dad is working through recovery after a big surgery. And I did this with him. I came into the hospital one morning and understandably, he was feeling super low, like so low, right?
Yeah.
And I just said to him, yeah, I get it. And that's okay. Like have those feelings. I'm going to sit over there on the couch and in about 30 minutes, we're going to do your exercises. But for now, feel what you got to feel. And then I shut up and I sat down on the couch and I gave him time. And then in 30 minutes, I said, okay, you ready? And he kind of, well, okay.
Yeah.
But it really helped because it gave him permission to have those feelings, to have whatever pity party was needed in the moment.
Yep.
But then we together, and sometimes you got to do this alone, right? We identified kind of a time for it and then what action we were going to take to keep going anyway. And I do think it's really helpful. Like a lot of this is, dealing with uncertainty. But if you can give yourself some certainty, you can feel these feelings and you can move on. It helps. So that would be like my step number 2. Like give yourself some time to feel it and then identify what action you're going to take from there.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, what you shared, I mean, it's like it's always easier to act your way into a new way of feeling than feeling your way into a new way of acting. And when you're ready to feel better, it's hard. That moment from when you're ready to feel better to feeling better, that delta, that gap, that's the hard part. But I think if you can get yourself to do something, a little something, it'll go a long way because you're not going to typically just, moving is very helpful. Doing something different is very helpful. Changing your environment is very helpful. But to just sit there and just think your way into a new way of feeling is typically much harder than to moving into a new way of feeling. Or did I say that right? It's much easier to move your way into a new way of feeling.
Yeah. I think we got there.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that's kind of, and then you got to take the action, right? Like then honor that agreement you made with yourself and take the action.
Right. And you're choosing to take your power back, right? You're choosing to be powerful, not powerless.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ride the second arrow.
Yes.
That one's more fun.
Yeah. And I mean, and,
more interesting.
And again, I think like there's times where it's just like, but why? Why did this happen? Why is she like that? Why is he like that? Why? And whenever I find myself going down that rabbit hole, I always go back to like, I can love what is, or I can hate what is. But the more I hate it, the more I'm going to suffer. Like the more I can, maybe I don't have to love it, but the sooner I accept what happened or what is, the more peace I'll have. And like there are times where like, I'm like working my way through like feeling better. And then it's like, well, why? And I quickly go back to that question or that mantra of like, if I can't change what is, then I might as well accept it. Otherwise I'm going to suffer. And it's like, it's literally like crying over spilled milk, right? The milk already spilled. We could go crazy and just stare at the milk. Like, why did you spill? What happened? Like, or we can work on accepting it and ultimately moving forward, cleaning it up and taking our power back.
I like it. Age-old analogy stands the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else we need to leave them with?
let's come up with a challenge. I think a good challenge would be, let us know a recent example, or no, it's got to be something that next time you something that happens that annoys you, or you find yourself fighting reality. It could be as simple as traffic to the person in front of you at the grocery store. But next time you find yourself fighting reality, I encourage you to work through this and feel the feelings so you can move forward, right? Because ultimately what a lot of people do is they don't ever feel their feelings and they just suppress it with food and other things. And the problem with suppressing feelings is they always come back, usually stronger, right? It's like, here's another analogy. It's like the door-to-door person, salesperson.
Yeah.
They're going to keep knocking on the door until you answer. It's so much easier to just sometimes to just open the door. How can I help you? Deal with it and then move forward. So when you learn and practice working through uncomfortable things, and again, sometimes it's trivial things that could be really annoying though, it helps us take power back and not use food as a coping mechanism.
Yes. Let's let go of fighting what is and work with it.
So yes, this coming week, if there's anything that comes up where you want to fight reality or you want to suppress it, let us know how you handled it and did not use food.
That's a great challenge. We'd like to hear how you worked these steps that we identified as well. So, all right, I guess that's it. Until next time, take good care.